and God bless America. Thank you very much.
Hell hath no fury like the Speaker of the House. Though her nemesis Donald Trump is long gone, she continues to exact apparent revenge on members of Trump's party. This week, Speaker Pelosi began fining Republican House members $500 for violations of her mask mandate. The rule applies to members of both parties, but according to the House physician, all Democrats are fully vaccinated.
I went onto the floor of the House of Representatives. I had to speak, and as I was sitting there, a member of the House Sergeant-at-Arms staff approached me, asked me if I was going to put on my mask. I said no. They said, okay, you will be fined for that. The only thing that Speaker Pelosi is protecting right now is control, is tyrannical control. Because if you've been vaccinated, there's no reason for you to have to wear a mask on the floor of the House.
Indeed, in the Senate, also controlled by Democrats, the CDC guidelines are now being followed. They say that if you've been fully vaccinated, there's no need to wear a mask, either outside or inside.
Well, we would just like to abide by the science. What's interesting is you look at this building, there's a chamber for the House and a chamber for the Senate. But apparently, COVID works differently in both chambers. Because in the Senate, you don't wear a mask. In the House, you have to wear a mask. The only difference is the Speaker. She doesn't want to abide by the CDC rules. She actually wants to have greater control.
On Wednesday of this week, a small group of House Republicans, including Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Thomas Massie, staged a silent, passive protest on the House floor. You can see them without masks. It prompted a Pelosi reprimand.
The chair reminds members that the House is following the guidance of the attending physician, who has stated that the present mask requirements and other guidelines remain unchanged in the hall of the House until all members and the floor staff are fully vaccinated.
She didn't mention that the attending House physician reports to and works under the control of Speaker Pelosi. When Republican Thomas Massie received written notice of his fine, he tweeted a picture of it in the trash can with the caption, "Speaker Pelosi sent me another letter, something about violating her tyrannical and unscientific mask rule. I filed this one in the same location." It's not the first time that Pelosi has fined Republican members. This year, she ordered members to pass through metal detectors installed at the entrance to the House chamber. Members who have entered through other doors are fined $5,000. Pelosi's move in apparent fear that Second Amendment-supporting Republican congressmen might open fire. The detectors were installed after the January 6th riots and after this January 5th Denver TV News report about Colorado Republican Lauren Boebert.
Boebert actually made headlines after releasing videos saying she will carry her Glock in Washington, D.C. It shows her doing this. The ad shows her loading her gun and putting it in her holster, then walking around the nation's capital with her concealed carry. Yesterday, Washington, D.C.'s police chief said he's planning to have a conversation with her about gun regulations within the city.
Many Republicans have been snagged and fined during their frequent comings and goings to the House floor. Many have appealed their $5,000 metal detector fines to the House Ethics Committee. But in that bipartisan committee, composed of 5 Democrats and 5 Republicans, a tie vote has meant all fines have been upheld. That is until this week, when third highest-ranking Democrat, 80-year-old James Clyburn of South Carolina, got caught slipping past a metal detector and was also fined. But this time, the House Ethics Committee voted to rescind his fine. In an apparent cover, the committee also rescinded the fine of another elderly member, 83-year-old Republican Hal Rogers of Kentucky. The unspoken story here, besides Pelosi's need for control, may be the need for another kind of control, bladder control. Elderly members of the House, regardless of party, and in a true spirit of bipartisanship, have to exit the House floor frequently to visit the men's room. An elder statesman's highest priority, you might say. Metal detectors be damned. Take it from this 66-year-old reporter. Doug McKelway for the Washington Examiner.